Hello, YouTube. Thanks for joining me today. Thought we would talk about plant-based weight management today. That's a prevalent subject, whether you're eating plant-based or however people are eating. People are always wanting to lose weight and keep it off. Now, a lot of people can lose weight. It's the keeping it off part that is a problem. And we're going to talk about all the available tools that you can use out there that you go through before you simply give up, throw your hands up in the air, and be one of those people that's like, well, I can't lose weight. I have this reason, that reason, every other reason. You might, but what it boils down to, what I see for a lot of people is it's just like you want to have your cake and eat it too. No pun intended. In other words, people want to basically do the same things they're doing more or less. They don't want to give up anything. They don't want to change habits. They want some gimmicky thing or something quick where they can just drop all the weight and then go back to their regular lifestyle. That's why diets have never worked. That's why, all these little named diets and plans and whatever never work, because they're not something that you're going to be able to do to sustain. Honestly, I've been eating like this for like 13 years now, and at 61, it wasn't until I started eating plant-based that it was just super easy for me to maintain my weight all the time. I was never like huge. I was never like obese or anything, but I was always like other people. I would, get down to the weight, an ideal weight, have abs, be looking pretty good. And then slowly, I was a drinker too back then. I ate a lot of bad food. And then slowly the weight would creep back up until I had to take that 20 pounds off, 15 pounds off here, 20, 25, 18. And it was always just about, kind of like getting it off. But I never just had that like steady where I just stayed at a weight for a long period of time. And then I started eating like this, and it was almost just the opposite. In fact, when I first started eating plant-based, had no clue what I was doing, wasn't eating like I should have been eating, and just dropped massive amount of weight, got way too skinny, looked like a crackhead roaming around in San Jose, Costa Rica, where I was at the time. But over the years, I've kind of figured out how to maintain my weight. So, before you say I can't lose weight or this or that, or keep telling yourself all the things you may have told yourselves before, what are you doing to work through this problem? I'm watching this TV show now on Paramount Plus, SEAL Teams, and they're always talking about work the problem. And what are you doing to work the problem? And then I hear some people say, well, like a scale. Look, I don't know what to tell you. If you're one of those people that I can't step on the scale, it gives me some trauma or anxiety or whatever, well, that might be, I'll get to that in a little bit, but that might be something where you need to be talking to a therapist about that. Your scale is your friend. I'm sorry. I get on my scale 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week just because I walk through it. It's in the walk by it. It's in the bathroom. And I kind of maintain, and I see, and my weight has been, steady for years and years now. So use that scale. See what's going on. That number on the scale is not the end all be all, but it does give you some kind of indication. And what it'll tell you more than anything else is not necessarily this number where I am means everything now, but if you're weighing regularly, you see, am I moving, am I going up, am I losing, blah blah blah. So but don't be afraid to use that scale, and then you know where you are. You probably have an idea of, then you have an idea how much you need to lose, whatever. Calories matter. I would, if you have no concept of calories or whatever, I would recommend using Chronometer. It's an app. I've never used it just because I don't need to use it, but it is a tool. And until you have tried everything, you can't complain to people, say I can't lose weight, or just be singing the blues that you're overweight. So Chronometer, figure out how many calories you need to eat. Like I said, I can kind of know what I'm eating just by visual. I know, okay, well, this has roughly 100 calories here, 200 there, blah blah blah. But you might need to put that in and see exactly what you're working with. Now, Once you see that and you establish how many calories you're taking in on a regular basis, and you're using that with your scale, and you say, okay, well, here's what eating this amount is doing to me, then you just adjust that a little bit. And I'm not talking about going nuts and doing some sort of gimmicky thing like, oh, I'm going to do a fast or I'm going to do a cleanse to give it a jump start. You simply figure out how many calories your body needs. When you find that amount of calories that your body, if you're trying to lose weight, when you find that amount of calories that just keeps you right at that steady weight, drop it a little bit. Drop by 200, 300, 400 calories, depending on your size and how big you are and how much you weigh. Drop a few hundred calories. See what that does. See if you need to drop just a little bit more, but you don't want to restrict. You don't want to go from, okay, I'm overweight, I need to lose X amount of pounds, so I'm just not going to eat, or I'm going to undereat. That's just not going to last long term. You might lose some weight real quick. A lot of times when you lose weight real quick, it's just going to be water weight anyway. So, have a little patience there. Now, if you've done all these things, if you've really been diligent and done the work and worked through it and tracked your food a little bit, and no matter what you're doing, you still can't lose weight, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. People talk about I can't lose weight. They throw out, I have medical reasons, I have this and that, who have never even talked to a doctor. That's just like self-diagnosing yourself with anything. That you're just taking a stab in the dark. Or you're just using that as okay, I can't lose weight now, so I'll just eat whatever because I can't lose weight. There's no logic there. Just because you have a problem, maybe even if you do have a medical problem or a medical issue such as hormones, thyroid, what have you, it's not doing you any good to just throw your hands up and eat poorly, do things that are not going to help it. Anyway, so go to a doctor, see what's going on, get some blood work done, ask the doctor, tell him how you're eating. I can't lose weight. Don't let him put you on Ozempic or anything. Those doctors sometimes want to give you a shortcut, but just see, get some tests done if you need to and see where you are on that. And then you'll know. And then you'll know okay, I was right. And then you proceed from there. But a lot of times you're probably going to find out, no, it's just the things that I'm doing or the things that I'm eating. The things you're not willing to give up. Like people are always talking about those. Well, I'm addicted to this food or I'm addicted to that food. I got something for that too, because people get mad when you suggest they don't really have a food addiction or that there aren't food addictions. Okay, I do believe there are food addictions, but I believe what most people do is everybody assumes, oh, I've got a food addiction just because you like something. There's a lot of stuff I liked before I started eating like this. But like cheese, people talk, oh my God, I can't give up cheese. I can't do this or that. Right before I went plant-based, I used to go downtown in San Jose almost at least 4 or 5 times a week, eat pizza. Loved pizza. Once I went plant-based, I'm like, well, I'm not eating this cheese anymore. So I just didn't do that anymore. But think you've got an addiction or an eating disorder or anything like that, go see the kind of doctor for that. Go to therapy. If you actually have a food addiction, people always talk about their food addiction and don't do anything about it. That's like somebody admitting to you, hi, I'm Jack, I'm an alcoholic. Okay, Jack, well, why don't you go to an AA or a 12-step or go do something? They're not doing that. So if you legitimately have a food addiction, treat it like an addiction. Actually treat it like an addiction. Go talk to a therapist. Once again, go talk to a therapist or join some, or do a little research and join some suitable 12-step program. But use all these different things. Don't use one of them and go, I can't lose weight or I can't maintain my weight. And just say, okay, well, I can't do it. Throw your hands up. I'm going to be overweight, so now I'm just going to eat whatever. Use all the tools available to you before you give up and say you can't lose weight, because it's about just making choices. I just finished lunch a little while ago, had a salad with some chickpeas on top. That's not all that important, but it's just you've got to find food that you enjoy And for somebody like me, I like to be satisfied. That's why I eat big meals. I like to be satisfied. I like to be full more so than I just eat for taste and eat things that are very calorically dense. And I eat something that's very small, has a lot of calories, but it's just not going to fill me up. So make better choices and use all the tools available to you out there. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go down and hit that subscribe button now, and I'll be here all week. Peace.